Hello and welcome to our channel. It's October 2025, and the royal world is reeling. King Charles has finally banished his brother Prince Andrew in a move as sudden as it is seismic, stripping him of his HRH, the Duke of York title, and the 30-room Royal Lodge mansion he's called home for over 20 years, reducing the once privileged prince to plain Mr. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and exiling him to a quiet countryside cottage in Sandringham. A dramatic fall from grace triggered by the explosive release of Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir that reignited the Epstein scandal with fresh fury, her 400-page testament detailing alleged abuse and palace protection despite Andrew's repeated denials and a $16 million settlement in 2022 with no admission of guilt. Just 2 weeks ago, Andrew relinquished his titles and honors, citing duty to family and country, but it wasn't enough to stem the tide of public outrage, parliamentary calls for a probe, and a YouGov poll showing 52% support for his ouster, forcing Charles, after legal consultations and family backing, including from Prince William, to issue a brusque Buckingham Palace statement. These censures are deemed necessary, notwithstanding his denial of the allegations, an unprecedented act since the 1936 abdication crisis, expressing solidarity with abuse victims and heading off further indignity. Andrew keeps a $4 million allowance, his daughters Beatrice and Eugenie retain princess titles per George V's 1917 directive, and ex-wife Sarah Ferguson moves out to make her own arrangements, while critics like Republic's Graham Smith argue losing titles isn't justice, and the royals remain above the law, with X ablaze. #Justice for Virginia trending 2 million times and at CNN's memoir clips hitting 3 million views. From Andrew's 2019 Newsnight disaster, pizza alibis and no sweat claims, to his Epstein ties since 2001, Maxwell's conviction, and Giuffre's power imbalance accusations, this is the full unraveling. Is Charles's cull too little, too late to mend the monarchy's tarnished trust, or a masterstroke of damage control? Dive deep into the scandal, the statement, and the fallout. Andrew's downfall began in 2019 with that infamous Newsnight interview, where his bizarre defenses, claiming he couldn't sweat due to a Falklands injury and was at Pizza Express in Woking, collapsed under scrutiny, leading to his immediate step back from royal duties and confinement to Royal Lodge's 1,000-acre Windsor estate, a gilded cage he shared with Ferguson despite their 1996 divorce. The Epstein entanglement dates to 2001, flights on the Lolita Express, visits to Little St. James, and Giuffre's allegations of abuse in London, New York, and the Caribbean, settled for $16 million in 2022 without admission, a payout that silenced legal claims but not public fury. Giuffre's memoir, released October 1st after her 2024 death at 41, was the final straw, raw, relentless, accusing Andrew of knowing she was a child and the palace of shielding him with PR spin, her words igniting fresh calls for accountability as MPs demanded a parliamentary committee appearance and petitions hit 500,000 signatures in days. Charles acted swiftly but deliberately, consulting constitutional experts to invoke royal prerogative and the 1917 Titles Deprivation Act precedent, revoking Andrew's HRH and York dukedom in a move historian Kate Williams called unprecedented for judgment errors, not war treason like past cases. The palace statement was uncompromising, emphasizing victim solidarity and family support, with William reportedly in full agreement. Andrew, 65, accepted without objection, issuing a brief duty-first note, but the exile to Sandringham, a modest farmhouse on the king's private estate, marks the end of his lavish lifestyle, though he retains wealth and an income from Charles. Reactions split sharply. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch called it right but difficult, Lib Dems hailed it as drawing a line to rebuild trust, while Republic Smith slammed it as protecting the crown, not delivering justice. Public sentiment. YouGov showed 52% approval, up from 45% pre-memoir, with X erupting, at BBC Clips 2M views, #Andrew exiled trending alongside #Justice for Virginia. Andrew's life now. Obscurity in Norfolk, occasional family events like the 2023 coronation, but no public role. Beatrice and Eugenie keep titles. Ferguson relocates independently. The monarchy breathes, damage controlled, probe dodged, but Epstein's shadow lingers, accountability absent, trust fragile. Too little, too late? Or just in time? Subscribe, comment your take. Thanks.